In 2018, during a 5-day tour of the Middle East, William promised to make peace on this earth the project of his whole life. When the prince returned to Britain, all his peacemaker aspirations faded, and only on October 7 of last year, the Welsh issued a statement expressing concern about what was happening, sympathy, and all that. Since then, there has been silence, as apparently from Downing Street there were persistent recommendations to the prince to deal exclusively with royal, that is, humanitarian issues. However, a couple of days ago William decided to do it his way. Royal biographer Angela Levin said the heir to the throne no longer wants to do routine royal work, shake hands and cut ribbons. This is somehow too small for the future king. As early as November of last year in Singapore, the Welshman said he wanted to perform fewer obligations, but leave himself more large-scale and global affairs, capable of turning the world upside down and affecting people's lives. The prince's statements then did not please everyone. "This is a very difficult job," says Angela Levin. "It requires great skills and knowledge. He doesn't want to cut ribbons. He doesn't want to do ordinary things, go to events, see people. If he really doesn't care, I think he wants to go very high. Not because of his arrogance, but in order to help and try to smooth out the situation." But the unprecedented statement by the heir to the throne about the Middle East left many dissatisfied, including politicians and representatives of the public. Rebecca English, who works with Kensington Palace, wrote in the Daily Mail that Israel is alarmed by Prince William's call, but the country does not want to risk getting into a public scandal with the future king after his unprecedented royal intervention. Some time ago, when palace insiders discussed William's plans for the future, it was reported that the heir would not adhere to his grandmother's rule not to interfere in politics. According to sources from the palace, William is just going to interfere because he believes that only this work matters and not visiting some ceremonies or opening a center for the elderly. The British press is full of outraged articles from royal experts. Biographer Tom Bower said that no one needs the intervention of Prince William in matters that do not concern him. The writer was quite unrestrained in his criticism, mentioning that the prince should remember the role of royal persons in the life of Britain and limit himself to it. Prince William should have been silent, Bower asserts. No one needs his contribution to this issue, and by interfering, he aggravated the whole problem even more, because he politicized the whole issue, as far as it concerns the monarchy. By what right does Prince William interfere in this very, very dirty and controversial issue? This is a deviation from what we expected, and we thought that he was a serious, thoughtful person, trying, so to speak, to master the royal craft. By what right does he want to get involved in the incredible mess in the Middle East, and worst of all, in the internecine struggle in the Labour Party and the cruelty on the streets of Britain? I just don't understand. I really think that he has very, very bad advisers who should have told him, "Prince William, Your Highness, you do not know enough about this subject. This is not the place for you to get into." Translate to English. Royal journalist Richard Kay wrote that by interfering in this long-standing conflict in the Middle East, William is putting the monarchy on a very slippery and dangerous path. And former politician Nigel Farage reminded of the tacit agreement that allows the monarchy to still exist in Britain. The main rule is not to participate in issues that cause division and controversy. Farage wonders why William decided to break this agreement and take on the responsibility of solving world conflicts, because this requires political experience and influence, which the prince does not have yet. We have been a constitutional monarchy since the end of the 17th century, and part of this deal is that the monarch, or even his closest relatives of the royal family, should not interfere in politics that could affect individual parties in any way. Is he doing the right thing or not? Has he gone too far in this? Should our future king interfere in this problem? I don't think he should. I think he is making a very big mistake. the former politician writes in his article on GB News. It will be interesting to see how the heir will get out of this whole story.